Can you believe that we are almost in 2025? This year has been the fastest year I think I've ever experienced in my whole life, and I cannot believe we're only a few weeks away from the new year. 2024 was such a good year for me personally, and I really hope it was for you as well. But I am on a mission to make 2025 the year for me. I want to be hitting all my goals. I want to be overachieving. I want to be as fit as I've ever been, as healthy as I've ever been, having as much fun as I've ever had, and traveling as much as I ever have before. I am so motivated to make 2025 my year, and I'm going to show you how you can too. Now, this wouldn't be a goals style video of mine if I didn't talk about reflection, and I think reflection is one of those things. It's horrible when you think about it, but honestly it makes the world of difference. So what we're going to do to start with, we are going to think about 2024, and we're going to write down everything that went well for us in 2024 and everything that was maybe not our best and things that we can improve on next year. Now, because I like to overshare on my channel and I'm not one to gatekeep, I'm actually going to share my 2024 recap with you. So here are my things that went well, and also the things that I can improve on in 2025. Best believe I'm going to be oversharing throughout this whole video because I feel like I'm a professional yapper now these days. And honestly, I just love being nosy as well, so I'm sure you guys do too. One thing that we are going to master going into 2025 is the morning routine. I feel like there is so much research out there and of millionaires, high-level CEOs, all of those sorts of really successful entrepreneurs, and they all have very similar morning routines. So this is something that we need to get down to a T. Now, I've been working on this in 2024, but I know that there are areas I can definitely improve on in 2025. So let's take you through what a standard morning routine will look like. First thing we're going to do is make sure we are drinking water as soon as we wake up. Our bodies are dehydrated after hopefully a good 9 hours of sleep if you're like me, but making sure you get a good sleep is obviously essential too. But we need to hydrate first thing in the morning. So that is our first step. The second thing that I love to do, and I have been doing this year, is writing down in my journal things that I am grateful for, my manifestations. The one thing I haven't been great on this year, but I would like to start doing in 2025, and loads of people rave about it. And you know what? Initially, I actually wasn't even on board with the whole journaling, manifestation stuff. And since I started doing it this year, it's been working wonders. I can't believe the things that I've been manifesting that have been coming true. So I'm going to take inspiration from that, and I'm going to start with meditating in 2025. So many people swear by this. I've never been one to really be into that sort of stuff, but I'm going to give it a crack and see what happens, and I would recommend that you give it a go too. You literally are not going to lose anything from trying, so why wouldn't we at least try? After we've done our meditation and our gratitude for the day, we're going to review our goals. I think it's so important to stay on track with the goals that you've set yourself for the whole year, and I love just reflecting back and making sure that I am doing things each week and each month to ensure that I'm going to hit my yearly goals. Next step is to do our 10 pages or a morning reading. I'm going to aim to read more non-fiction books this year, so making sure I get my 10 pages in the morning sets you up for a good day, get your brain working straight away, and I think it just is a really healthy habit to have in the morning. After that, we're jumping in the shower, and you're gonna hate me for this, but we are having a cold shower every morning. You can start with just 1 minute and work your way up to longer and longer times, but the studies that have been done on cold showers and its effects on your daily production, how you feel, the stats are really, really insane. So improved circulation, reduced inflammation and muscle soreness, increased metabolism, improved mental focus, better sleep, and reduced pain. So, I mean, literally after listening to all of those things, why would you not? So many people swear by them. They make you feel so good after you've done them. They suck at the time, don't get me wrong, but I think when you stick at them long enough, they do get easier and easier. Other things we need to do to set ourselves up for success, make sure we're making our bed every single day. I've been really good at this anyway in 2024. I can't believe that there was a past version of me that would not make her bed. Just like the idea of not making my bed now seems absolutely criminal. And then after we have done that, we're making sure we're getting at least 30 grams of protein in for breakfast every single day. If you start your day well with a high protein breakfast, it's going to make you feel fuller for longer. It's going to stop your blood sugar from spiking. And it also means that we're on track to hit our protein goal for the whole day. Finally, the last thing on my list for making sure 2025 is going to be good and we're doing all of our morning habits is morning exercise. One thing I've been bad at, especially in the second half of this year, is cancelling my morning class and then booking on to the afternoon class instead. And we're leaving that energy back in 2024. That is not who we want to be in 2025. So we're going to those 6 a.m. classes, we're doing that 6 a.m. sunrise run, and it's all going to be worth it in the long run. So moving on, let's talk about journaling and manifestation. In 2025, we are going to be on top of our journaling and manifestation. Now, the way that I personally do this, and obviously everyone is so different, but the way that I found worked for me in 2024 was literally just buying a notebook. This was $5 from Kmart. You can buy any notebook you want. They have like ones you can buy where people already have like the prompts and stuff written out, but honestly, I feel like it's probably not worth the money when you can just buy your own version of it. What I do every single day is in the morning when I wake up, I sit down, I open to a new, well, not even a new page, like I've got tons and tons of pages. So I usually get about 3 days worth onto one piece of paper. So your affirmation can really be just like whatever you want it to be, but today I just wrote, today is going to be a great day. Then the way that I like to do this is I like to write down 3 things that I am grateful for. I tend to just do whatever first comes to my mind. So today I'm going to put grateful to be recovering well. I basically had surgery last week, so I am on the mend, and today's kind of the first day that I actually feel more or less myself again. Grateful for my life. And my third thing, you can do as many of these as you want. I tend to just do 3 so it doesn't take up super amounts of time. I'm grateful to be going home for Christmas. Then after I've done my 3 things that I'm grateful for, I tend to do at least three things that I'm manifesting in this is more like near future. So things that I'm wanting in like the next couple of months and things like that. So that is my morning manifestation and gratitude done. Like I mentioned earlier, in 2025, I want to start getting into some meditation. So I think the way that I'll probably do it is I'll find short ones like 5-10 minutes on YouTube and just listen to them in the mornings. I really want to give it a good go in 2025. So that is the plan there. And I guess the other thing that kind of ties into this whole like journaling, manifestation, like all of those sorts of things is vision boards. Now I love a vision board, and sadly, I don't know what happened during 2024, but I did make a vision board, and I always set my vision board as my laptop screensaver. But at some stage during the year when I was clearing out my laptop, I deleted the 2024 one, and I just never made a new one, to be honest. So next step for me today is to set up my 2025 wall saver with my manifestation board for the year. I've had this same phone background since about 2017, and it's finally time to change it up. And I'm actually going to do a vision board for my phone this year, so I can really stay aligned on my goals on every aspect of my life, basically the places I'm always going to see it. Because I really find for me personally is when I am reflecting on my goals and I'm looking at it regularly, it really just like gets me back on track and keeps me motivated to keep going and remembering why I'm doing certain things. So I have just finished my 2025 vision board. I'm super happy with how it came out. I basically now just need to make a smaller version for my phone, but then this is good to go. But yeah, this gives you guys some ideas of the goals that I am setting myself for 2025 and the life that I want to be living next year, pretty much. I had so much fun doing this. Basically, if you're stuck on where to get photos, I literally just scroll through Pinterest and find all of my photos on that, and then I use Canva to go in and actually edit everything together. So I officially have it set as my wallpaper and on my phone as well. So both of those all set up. I'm hoping that my phone will like be a really good way to keep me on track next year. Now that the vision board is done, on to cleaning the apartment. You have to go into the new year with a clear space. That means we're going to declutter. We're going to give it a deep clean. I mean, we are still a few weeks out till Christmas, but I want today to be like a deep clean, like doing all those little bits and pieces that I don't usually get around to doing very frequently. So that is the plan. It actually is pretty clean generally in here. You can see I've got like some stuff on the side, so all of that just needs to be put away. So going to do a big clean whilst listening to the Wicked soundtrack. One of the things I've been putting off doing, which we are going to do right now, is clear out my fridge. I feel like I've got a bad habit of leaving stuff in the fridge that really just like needs to go in the bin, and that is so gross now that I actually say that out loud. But I'm gonna go through the fridge now and just check all the dates and everything, chuck out basically everything that is either out of date or we know we're not gonna eat. Especially because we go away for Christmas, so we really only have a couple of weeks until everything in the fridge really needs to be gone anyway. One of the biggest things that I need to work on in 2025 is keeping my bedside table tidy. Now, it might not look that bad right now, but this is what's hiding. Next to it is just a pile of things that was actually on this that I just dumped on the floor. That is like my guilty habit, I would say, is everything when I'm done with it just ends up right here, and then I never actually put anything away. And I do actually have like 2 drawers in here. So this top drawer is meant to be like my medications, my glasses, any like vitamins that I'm taking, my retainer, like things I actually use of an evening. My scrunchie will go in there. And then this bottom drawer, I keep my electronic stuff in. One thing I know I'm bad at is when I take off my clothes in the evening, they get dumped on the floor here. So my aims for 2025, make sure that clothes and a bedside table kept tidy. I've been pretty good on the whole at keeping my like apartment tidy and stuff throughout the year, but this is like the last little piece of the puzzle that I really need to work on. And I've also noticed, because we have black furniture, the dust picks up very quickly, so I need to be better at dusting. So those are like the things that are on my list of getting better at in 2025. I think in terms of cleaning, what you really need to do is you need to just figure out what things you do daily, weekly, monthly, etc., and then just stick to that. Honestly, it's life-changing if you can stick to like making sure everything is at least tidy before you go to bed, like 10 minutes it takes to just keep on top of things. Then your weekly and monthly things become so much less time consuming because you're not having to do like this huge deep clean every single month. I tend to do like a big clean on the weekends, like depending on what's going on with my weekend, either Friday, Saturday or Sunday. I usually actually like doing it on a Friday because then I feel like I go into the weekend with my apartment being nice and clean, and then I don't have to waste my weekend doing that. But sometimes if Fridays are busy or whatever, I will do it on a Sunday because it's also very nice to do it on a Sunday and go into Monday feeling fresh. It's the following day and we are finishing off our 2025 planning today. So the next thing that we are doing in 2025 to be the best version of ourselves and get our SHIT together is we're going to become organization and planning masters. Now, I would say that I am pretty organized at the best of times. I have been like an avid iPhone notes user for all of my organization, my to-do list for the longest time. However, towards the end of this year, I did make the switch over to Notion. And Notion, I feel like can be quite confusing, but I feel like I finally got a system that works for me. So I'm going to talk you through exactly what I do on Notion. It's super basic, that the thing that I have set up. Like, I know some people are like so advanced with it and I'm just not that gal, but you can use your notes, you can do the old-fashioned like pen and paper, like whatever works for you. So this is what you see when you come onto my Notion, and the main thing really that I use is this here, the task management section. And I actually can't even take credit for this because this was really my friend Shannon that, she didn't help me set it up, but she basically sent me her version and I more or less copied it. So shout out to her for helping me get this set up. But the way that I have it set up, and I'm actually going to start from the right hand side and move over to the left. So you'll see here, I've got this section here, which is called 2025 yearly goals. And you'll see some of the stuff that I do have already set up. I'm not going to go through every single thing in this video. This is just to give you more of an overview. But you'll see I've separated out my goals into different categories. So I've got health and fitness, finances, travel, and there's some more when you go down. So this is where I'm really seeing like an overview. So let's just look at the health and fitness one, for example. So when we click in, you can see these are all of the goals I have set myself for 2025. Now I may add to this, I may delete stuff, obviously as the year progresses. You know, we've still got a couple of weeks left until we're even in 2025, but right this second, this is where I am at for my goals for the year. Now, what I really love about this system is those are obviously for the whole year, but what I'm actually going to do is then break that down into months. So for example, at the minute I've only got December and January set up here, but if we look at my January goals, so essentially all of my goals in January will be things that will help me achieve my overall yearly goals. And if you guys have watched any of my videos recently, you'll know that I had surgery last week actually at the time of filming. So I've put go for my first run post-surgery. It's still kind of unclear as to when I'm going to be able to start running, but I think, to be honest, it will probably be closer to January. So I've got go for my first run post-surgery, create a workout plan for the month. Next year I'm going to be training for a triathlon, a marathon, and a half marathon. I guess the marathon and the half marathon are kind of the same thing, but I need to figure out my workout plan once I'm actually allowed to exercise again. And then also creating a food plan for the month. So we get back on holiday early January, and then it will be back onto tracking my calories. I've been eating in a calorie deficit towards the end of this year, but I think that will change next year. So I just need to figure that out and then create a food plan based on that. Then beyond that, I then come into the weekly plan, and the weekly plan is basically my to-do list, everything I need to do that day. So if we just look, or that week, sorry, even if we just click into this current week that we're on now, you'll see at the top here, I've just got some like general things that I wanted to do this week, but I didn't really mind which day I did them on. And then you'll see it comes down and breaks it down into every single day. So like Monday, you can then also like tick things off as you do them. On Monday, I did not hit my macros, which is why it's not ticked off. And it basically just goes down all of your lists. So this is Friday today when I'm filming this video. So you'll see these are all of the things that I want to achieve today. So I'm obviously currently filming this video. I then have some other little bits that I need to film for this video and some other bits in general that I need to do today. And you can also get the Notion app on your phone. So that's super handy as well, because it just means that you can access it whenever you need to. And yeah, that's kind of like the overview of my Notion. Like I said, I'm not an expert in Notion. There are so many people out there that have great templates that they use. This is the one that I have found works best for me. You'll see over here in this left hand side, I do have some other goal setting ones, but I just found that this one here is personally the best one for me. The final thing I wanted to touch on is finances. And if you've seen some of my previous videos, you guys know I am all over my finances. I find finances and money and all of that sort of topic so interesting. I don't know why. I feel like that probably makes me a little bit of a loser, but I just find it so interesting. And one of the things I would absolutely recommend that you do for 2025 is a financial audit of your year. Now, whether you want to backtrack and look through 2024 and figure out where you were spending your money in 2024, or whether you want to just start at 2025 and just start tracking in 2025, I will leave that up to you. But I will say this, the first time I ever tracked my monthly outgoings, I was horrified. I could not believe how much money I was spending on not even like random things, but just like food or my Pilates classes, things that like you're not really paying that much attention to at the time, but they do add up. I will insert a link here for my video that I did of how much money I spend living in Sydney, so you can go and watch that, because honestly it was so shocking. But I wanted to give you an overview of the spreadsheet that I use. I actually just bought this spreadsheet from Etsy. It was like $10 or $15 or something like that. I mean, there's like hundreds and thousands of templates to choose from. I did make some very slight amendments to mine, but you know, you can literally buy one, and then if you do want to edit it to match your personal circumstances, then you can obviously do that as well. But I'm going to jump back into the screen share and I'm going to show you guys what my spreadsheet looks like and basically what I do every single month. So this is the spreadsheet that I have. This is actually a brand new one that I've just opened up for 2025. I am not going to show you 2024 because it obviously has all of my personal finances for the year, but I will give you an overview of the spreadsheet that I use to budget. Currently, all of these graphs are empty, but as we pop in some figures, you'll see that the graphs start to appear. But this basically just gives your year in summary. So it will show you your income, expenses versus income, just expenses, and this here will become a pie chart of how your money is split, like what categories you're spending in. Then if you come down, this shows you basically like another breakdown of all of those different things. I did add, which I actually realized now I actually didn't delete here, was some of the travel funds that I had saved. I actually had manually put this figure in because that was the amount that I had in that savings account at the start of the year. But anyway, I can actually just go and delete that. So at the end of every month, after I have my bank statements and things like that, I'll go through and I'll pop everything in. So let's just do some examples here. So to be honest, you don't really need the date, but we're just going to put everything in on the first. And let's just say this is income, and I'm going to put income, and let's just make up a number, $3,000. Then on the same day, we're going to have, let's have a look, internet. Don't know why I'm doing all capitals. Internet payment. And that's going to go into my internet category. And again, these figures are all just made up, $50. And let me just pop in a few different things here. Clothes. 300. Holiday. 600. Oh, not 6,600. Maybe let's do some house savings. Okay, so just for example, let me get rid of that. Just for example, I've just popped in some random things here. Obviously, if you're doing your whole month, you'll have like a lot more transactions than the 5 that I've just put in. But you can see now in my breakdown for the month that it's going to show you how much money you spent in each of these categories, and you can actually rename these categories so they work for you. You'll see over here you can actually also do planned versus actual. I, to be honest with you, never actually use the planned sections, so that gives you an idea as to how the spreadsheet works. You can add loads of categories into all of these different sections. So in my fixed expenses, I have household, transport, I do have stocks, savings and holiday spends all in that little section. I know they're not necessarily fixed expenses, but this is just how I like to separate them. Then in the variable expenses column, I've got bills, living expenses, and then wants. So the wants you can actually add like however many categories you want. These are just the ones that I have chosen. But if you wanted to split that up even further, like for example, I personally added sushi train. Right hand side, you can also see our expenses breakdown. So you'll see the percentages. So obviously, you know, a lot of people say you should be trying to save 20% of your income. This will give you an idea here that the savings is this color. So right now, as per these figures, I'm only saving 13% of my income. Now, when we go back over to the yearly dashboard, those figures will now have imported into here. So you'll see my income has come across, my expenses, and then you'll see expenses versus income. Once you start adding more months in here, this will make a nice little chart for you as well. And again, that pie chart pulls through. It's really interesting to see like your total income, your total rent or mortgage that you're paying, groceries, eating out, spent on holidays. Again, spent on holidays is one that I added in, but you could change these to be the categories that you're most interested on seeing. And then again, I've got total saved and total invested. So it's just so useful, I think personally, to have all of this information to hand. And it's definitely something that I would recommend you get on top of in 2025, because we're all about financial literacy here. And honestly, like I said, it will probably shock you when you actually do your first month review as to where you're spending your money. So highly recommend. I wanted to jump on here and finish off this video. Now, there are a couple of things that I do think you should do to set yourself up for 2025, which I didn't include in this video because I didn't want it to be super long. But the two main things that actually come to mind are, one, doing a wardrobe clear out. Now, I actually did one not too long ago, which is sort of another reason why I didn't film one, because I don't really have that much that I would actually be getting rid of. But 100% go through all of your clothes, try everything on. It is a big task. Try everything on, make sure everything fits, make sure it's still your style. If it's not, give it away, give it to charity, sell it, whatever works for you, do that. And the second thing is a digital clear out. Now, this is a task I dread doing. I absolutely hate doing it. We are going to go through all of our photos on our phones, computers, iPads, whatever else you have, and we are deleting everything we don't need. That screenshot from 5 years ago of your order confirmation or whatever it was needs to go in the bin. We do not need that anymore. So these are some of my tips for you to set yourself up for the best 2025 possible. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and make sure you hit subscribe for more weekly videos. See you soon. Bye.